Welcome back. eSIM Studios Podcast Live Stream, episode number 186. Moving right along here on this Saturday afternoon / Saturday evening, August the 24th, 2024. Thank you for joining us today. I hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. And got some interesting news today we'll definitely get into. If you do miss this show or the live stream, please hit the replay on the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. I'm streaming across multiple platforms, including Twitter. I changed my profile picture, and it took them 5 days to verify my profile picture, and so I couldn't live stream for 5 days on X. So we're live streaming on X once again for the first time in 5 days. So I want to welcome getting some good viewership on Twitter, on Instagram, and across the 3 or 4 YouTube channels that we're streaming on as well. But again, eSIM Studios YouTube channel is the home of technology. That's our home as well. You can also listen to the audio form of this live stream in the eSIM Studios podcast. Simply search eSIM Studios. Wherever you get your podcast at, search eSIM Studios Podcast. We will pop up. Or you can do like I do. If you're looking for something specific, maybe Nothing Phone 2 coverage, simply search eSIM Studios on Google and Nothing Phone 2 or eSIM Studios Podcast, and it'll pop up a list of platforms that we're on, such as Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio Music app, right? Amazon Music, YouTube Music, wherever you are. We're all over the place, so we're easy to find. So, we got a couple of stories here. If you go to the eSIMstudios.app site, let's do that. Okay. Oh, shoot. I forgot to share the screen. Okay, sorry. I did not live stream yesterday while I set this up. I did not live stream yesterday, but I did upload quite a bit of content on the Pixel 9 Pro XL. Somebody commented in one of my videos, "Hey, I thought you didn't like the Pixel that much this year." And I replied back, "Initially, I didn't, but now after using it for a few days, I freaking love this phone." So the Pixel 9 Pro XL is an absolute joy to use. I don't think anybody's going to have any issues. Again, not the strongest CPU. I don't play games, so if you do, you might. That's the only caveat to this phone, gaming. Now, we've seen online, I'm not going to review games. I stopped playing games when I was a child. I got better stuff to do. But if you are interested in getting this phone and you are a heavy gamer, you might want to look elsewhere for reviews and or how it performs under heavy gaming usage. But I can tell you with 16 gigs of RAM, it is a multitasking giant. So I have tons of apps open in the background. I never clear my apps. At any given time, 20 to 30 apps open in the background. And we're not talking little note-taking apps, right? We're talking about YouTube. We're talking about podcast app. We're talking about heavy Chrome tabs. Each app that's in the background, probably 2-3 gigs. So, so far so good. It's been able to handle everything wonderfully. No issues there. No stuttering. No jitters. No glitchiness. It's been able to handle everything as I expected it to, right? I'm currently testing the cameras. So I left studio today, go outside and take a bunch of pictures for everybody, for me really, but I'm going to compile everything. Maybe in the next day or two I'll upload it. A bunch of good photos I've taken, photos and videos. So this year, and just to let you know, my video boost just finished. So they said, do you remember last year they introduced on the Pixel 8 series, they introduced the video boost, right? And it was where essentially you can take a video, normal video, whatever you want, and it would take that video, send it to the cloud, enhance everything, the quality, the colors would get boosted. And then once it was completed boosting your video, it would give you a notification to your phone saying, hey, it's done, you're ready to view it, ready to download it, whatever you want to do with it. Last year, I think when I tested it, it took, and it'll also give you, once it's done with your video boost, it'll give you the original form. It'll essentially have 2 files in that one video. So it'll have a normal video that you took, and then it'll have a carbon copy of that video, but in boosted form. So you'll have 2 files. That boosted video today took just a couple minutes shy of 2 hours. Or was it shy or over 2 hours? Basically 2 hours, right? Now, the video was, let me see how long. It wasn't that long. The video was 1 minute and 35 seconds. Took 2 hours to boost a 1 minute 35 second video. Last year took, I think, 5 hours. It was definitely over 4. Now, they did mention this year that the times have increased, right? So their servers that they're using, I'm sure, just a whole nother year in advancement, right? Stronger CPUs, stronger servers, bigger bandwidth. So the processing time has gotten faster. They basically cut it down in half. However, it still takes 2 hours. It's not like video boost, send it up there, total your thumbs for a minute or 2 and then it's ready. No, it's one of those things that you select video boost when you record, and then once you're done, it automatically uploads to the cloud. You don't have to do it manually, so it'll automatically upload to the cloud, right? And then you go about your day, you said, basically, right? Because look, this takes a couple hours, so you just forget about it, and then later in the day, next morning, what have you, it'll be ready. It is kind of a downside. It is a cool feature. I was just looking at the video comparison between the normal video and the video that was boosted. There is a noticeable difference. So it's pretty cool. The downside again is it takes a while, but as long as you go into that knowing that it's going to take a little while to process, then I don't think you'll have an issue with it. It's not one of those things where you can like show one of your friends, be like, yo, watch this, it's going to take a while. So if you're going to be hanging out for a couple of hours with your buddies, or going out on a dinner date with a girlfriend or your wife, or even hanging out with the kids, it's going to take a couple hours to process. So just keep that in mind. It has gotten faster compared to last year's, but look, when they can get it down to like a few minutes, I think I'll really start to use it. I've only used it a handful of times just because it takes so long to process. It's like, what's the point? But it is pretty cool for special occasions, I think, right? So if you're on vacation, let's say you go to Jamaica, or you go to an island in the Caribbean, and you just want to get a real cool shot of the foliage, the lush trees, the palm trees in the background, that's when it would be cool. The nice blue ocean water, kind of like my shirt. Caribbean blue, I guess you could call it. Blue or green? I don't know. Teal. I don't know what you call it. But anyways, it does take a little while to process, but it is what it is. Other than that, just wanted to give you a quick update on the Pixel usage. I will be still compiling some photos, some videos that we can use to compare here in probably a couple days. I'll throw a video together, and I'm recording 1080p. I'm recording 4K. I'm recording selfies. On the front camera, back camera, trying to do just portrait mode, non-portrait mode, just trying to get a good compilation of all the different modes. I'm going to put the video boosted mode in there. I'm going to put the non-boosted mode, just try to get a good, nice little sample size, maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes long at the most, so everybody can see what it looks like, right? But other than that, Pixel's badass. I really, really, really love it. So, did I criticize it too much? Maybe, but I was just concerned about the CPU. I was definitely not concerned or worried about the camera. Definitely not worried or concerned about the display. I knew the build quality was going to be pretty good. I just didn't know it was going to be this good. Again, I am blown away by the build quality. It's second to none. And let me mention this, and then we'll move on. I think this is the best when it comes to Android phone. I'm not talking about iPhone. Android, right? So out of Samsung, out of nothing, OnePlus, Motorola, this is the best build quality I've ever experienced on an Android phone. It doesn't even feel like an Android phone. It is out of this world. So if you get it, you're going to love it. I can almost guarantee it. So let's move on. Now, quick, one last update. The screen protector. I put a video out yesterday on screen protector install. Don't buy that. I'm going to go back and delete the link. It's trash. In fact, I may even delete the video. The fingerprint scanner does not work when you install that screen protector. So please disregard that. In fact, I'm definitely going to put a note. I'm going to remove the purchase link, and I'm going to put a note in the description of the video saying, hey, look, after testing it, fingerprint scanner simply doesn't work. So buy at your own risk, right? I'm not going to say don't buy it, but buyer beware. What else? I ordered some more screen protectors, film and glass, coming tomorrow. We are going to install those and test those. I'll have everything on film, on camera, recorded and uploaded. So if you have not purchased a screen protector as of yet, we'll see which ones provide the best protection with fingerprint scanner working. Nothing worse than installing a screen protector and your fingerprint scanner doesn't work. I did a review for Amazon and basically showed, I already took it off of my phone, but I was showing when it was on, how the fingerprint scanner did not work, right? So it is what it is, and we'll move forward. But and if you did order it from watching my yesterday's video, I apologize. I didn't realize my fingerprint scanner didn't work until this morning, or else I would have put something out earlier this morning or yesterday. I've been in the studio, and I have an extend unlock on where basically your phone stays unlocked because it knows where your location is. Or if you're paired to a device like Bluetooth or your smartwatch, it'll just stay unlocked. It wasn't until I left the studio that I was like, oh shit, this doesn't work. So anyways, it is what it is, right? Let's move on. And I'll keep y'all updated with that, right? So check this out. We got big news. So that was a long intro, sorry. And I'll fly through this, right? So let's jump into it. Got some really cool news. If you're a Samsung fan, if you've used a Samsung FE product, we've mentioned quite a bit over the last probably week or two. The S24 FE last week got certified through the South Korean equivalent of the FCC. And on, what was it, Friday? Was it yesterday or the day before? No, it had to have been Thursday. We didn't do a live stream yesterday. So Thursday, I got certified through Bluetooth. So I got Bluetooth certification in the United States. And then today, look at what we got here. The FCC approved the S24 FE. So what does that mean? You're like, okay, well, that means it's about to launch. It's about to launch soon. Now, every single device that's sold in the United States that emits radio frequencies or any electronics that's sold in the United States has to be approved through the FCC. They basically have to give it the stamp of approval. Yes, it can be sold. It's not emitting any radioactive, or not radioactive, but any harmful transmissions, anything like that, right? So it's another way for the government to make money too, right? Because these companies like Samsung have to pay to get the certification, right? So, but what these companies do is they don't get certification until right up until they launch the device. What's the reason for that? Well, because this is all public knowledge, public record. So FCC actually lists each device they certify, specifications, the test results, and everything. That's public knowledge. You and I can go pull it up and look at it. Now, these companies like Samsung don't want to get certified until right up until they launch it. Because if they do it 2 months ago, trust me, the phone's been ready 2 months ago to sell. If Samsung got it FCC certified 2 months ago, well, we would know all the specs. We would know how it did in the testing and all that stuff. Now, as you know, a lot of these companies leak their own stuff, right? But they do want to leave some stuff they do want to leave some of the items unknown, just so it still pulls you in, still gets your attention for launch time, gets the name, gets the product out there for everybody, basically generates some buzz, right? So I think this will be the first Samsung Galaxy FE product, phone FE Fan Edition, that I might recommend. All the ones previously were not good in my experiences. I just didn't like them, right? They stuttered a lot, real glitchy, real sluggish operating system, and I think that was due to the low RAM number that they put in there. I think typically they used to put 6 gigs of RAM in there. I think this is where all this AI stuff, and I know it's going to have more RAM because I've seen some marketing materials, and they're going to label this as a Galaxy AI device. So it's going to have artificial intelligence functionalities, stuff like that. Now, when you have artificial intelligence functionalities, you got to have a lot of RAM, right? So that's why the iPhone 15, only the Pro and the Pro Max were able to do the AI stuff. Why? Well, because it had more RAM than the base model and the Plus model. So we don't have a launch date, however, should be within the next week or two. It will be launched on Samsung's website, and I believe it's going to have a price probably right around $600. So this is another device that's kind of like Samsung puts out a lot of devices. It's going to be a 6.6 inch display. It's going to have the Samsung Snapdragon Exynos 2400. That's the global variant. That's the CPU that Samsung put inside the S24 series outside of the US. Inside the US, we got a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Outside, got an Exynos 2400. Well, they're going to bring the Exynos 2400 to the US market with this FE. Now, they did that because it costs less, right? Samsung makes their own CPUs, so it's obviously going to cost less than having to purchase and go source an outside product, such as a new excuse me, instead of a new CPU from Snapdragon. A lot of S's in there. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. As soon as it launches, we'll let you know. We'll let you know the price, where you can get one, and the trade-in deals. That's on Samsung's website. And they should have these in store, too. I think they'll have these in store. Now, let's see here. Apple. Apple has some interesting stuff going on. So we've talked a lot about their upcoming roadmap, their upcoming devices that they're going to launch. And as you know, this next generation CPU, we're currently on, well, I guess technically we're on to the M4 CPU, but it's only inside of an iPad Pro. Only inside iPad Pro. So the most or should I say the best CPU you can get in a MacBook or Mac Mini or something like that is the M3 CPU. Now, everybody knows that the M4 CPU will be the successor to the M3 that's inside the laptops, right? So about a month ago, we did a whole live stream episode on Apple's roadmap. And if you watched that live stream, you would know that Apple was planning to launch new M4 chip powered products before the end of the year. And today we got word that they are planning on launching 4 products. So 4, well, it'd be more than 4 SKUs, but basically 4 products. And I'm guessing they're going to be MacBook, MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, and probably the Mac Mini or Mac Studio, whatever the hell they call it. That's going to be those 4 products. So let's get into it right here. Apple testing 4 new M4 Macs ahead of fall launch. These chips are very, very powerful. They probably will be the most powerful CPUs, consumer CPUs. Right now, if you go on the industrial side, on the business side, there's obviously CPUs that are more powerful than this. But those typically power server that's on the server side, data centers, stuff like that have to have super duper powerful custom CPUs. This will be the most powerful consumer CPU on the market, more powerful than the Snapdragon X Elite, more powerful than last year's M3 chip, and by a significant amount. I believe this is a 40 or 37 to 40% boost in performance. It's going to be insane because that M3 chip is very, very powerful, and this one looks to be much more powerful, right? So they're going to have different levels of M4 chips. So just like Snapdragon has a couple different SKUs models for their X Elite, Apple has the same thing with theirs, right? So there was a couple of different types of M3 CPUs that you could purchase depending on what product you purchased. And they're going to do the same thing for the M4 CPU. The M4 used, the 4 machines the 4 machines have a base level M4 chip. So it's just going to, and I say base level doing air quotes because even the base M4 CPU from Apple is going to be an absolute beast. Just the base M4 CPU is going to blow away everything. And we go up from there. 3 of the Macs have a 10-core CPU and 10-core GPU. The 4th machine has an 8-core CPU and an 8-core GPU, which is not an M4 configuration that we've seen so far. So it'll be like maybe a less stronger. That'll basically be the base model. Again, the other ones are going to have 10 cores of CPUs, 10 core GPUs. And the entry level M4 is going to have an 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU. All 4, however, of the M4 Macs either have 16 gigs of RAM or 32 gigs of unified memory and or RAM, which is big because Apple's going to leave behind their 8 gig of RAM model, which I've been just kind of counting the days for this to happen. How long are they going to just be stuck on 8 gigs of RAM? Same thing with, getting off of this just for a second, same thing with these Windows laptops, these Windows computers. How are they still putting... I saw brand new laptops from Lenovo, from Dell, just the other day, still selling with 8 gigs of RAM. How is that even possible? I would turn on my computer and then it would automatically lock up if I had 8 gigs of RAM. It's not doable. And I think they're doing consumers horribly wrong by doing that. I'm at least glad to see Apple taking... And again, it's a very rare... I'm not going to say rare. When they're due credit, I'll give them credit. I just don't see eye to eye in a lot of things with Apple and what they do, but I definitely agree with what they're doing here, getting rid of that 8 gig of RAM base model, bumping it up to 16, and you have an option for 32. Obviously, you can get a higher amount of unified memory, which is what they call RAM, but those are mad expensive and typically for business applications only. So the M4 used in the 256 gig and 512 gig iPad Pro models have a 9-core CPU and 10-core GPU, while the chip used in the 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte models has a 10-core CPU and 10-core GPU. The high-end iPad chip is the same chip that will be in some of the Mac models. So Mark Gurman, who is a Apple insider, does not mention the M4 Pro or M4 Max chips. Those are the upgraded M4 chips, which would be used in higher-end Macs, Minis, and 14-inch MacBook Pro models, as well as the 16-inch MacBook Pro. M4 Pro and M4 Max chips would have a higher number of CPU and GPU cores, as well as more unified memory, aka RAM. It's not clear if Apple's only introducing lower-end models with the standard M4 chip, or if there are plans for M4 and M4 Pro and M4 Max models, but those higher-end chips simply weren't seen in the development logs. Prior rumors suggested that both the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro models would see a refresh, and Gurman previously said that the new slimmer Mac Mini that's in the works will be available with both M4 and M4 Pro chip options. So be on the lookout for that. We don't have a release date on these M4 chips. We don't have a release date on these products that will be carrying the M4 and M4 Pro CPU. And again, M4 Max, you're probably going to see that in the Mac Studio. But as of now, it looks like they're going to introduce, they're slowly roll out the M4 lineup, right? So I'm pretty sure they're going to bring an M4 Max, but that's probably still in development. So it looks like we're going to get this introduced here probably late fall. I'm assuming by October, maybe November, definitely before Christmas. These will be nice Christmas presents. Pretty pricey, but nonetheless, they will be a nice Christmas present. But Apple, I can guarantee you they're going to have them out before the end of the year. Now, speaking of releasing products, so we did also mention, couldn't get out of here without mentioning the launch of the new iPhone 16 series. Apple is to debut the iPhone 16, the Apple Watch 10, and AirPods 4 on September 10th. It was previously mentioned and leaked that there would be a launch on September the 20th. However, that I didn't say anything and or announce that because it wasn't confirmed. That was a leaked estimation, and it turned out to be wrong, right? So I try to cross-reference stuff before I put my name on it, and that was incorrect. I didn't touch it, but we did get confirmation now that the iPhone 16, the Apple Watch 10, and AirPods 4 will be launched on September 10th. Now, I don't know what day that is, but we will definitely live stream that and probably troll them a little bit, honestly. I love to troll Apple. They hate me. I hate them. So it's a mutual relationship. When is, what is it? September 10th. So join me as we make fun of Apple on September 10th. I cannot wait. Let's see. That's a Tuesday. September 10th, Tuesday. Once I figure out, I think it starts at 10 a.m. Is it 10 a.m. Central Standard? I'll find out when it starts, like time-wise. Now, Apple is so strict. Here's one of the many reasons why I do not like them. They are so strict. So Samsung, when they have their launch party and they launch new products, I can live stream that launch and broadcast it just as Samsung is broadcasting it, and I won't get in trouble, right? So they won't copyright strike me or anything. They're fine with it. They could if they want to, but they want to promote their products, right? The more people that stream the launch, the more that their products get out there in the public, the better, right? Same thing with Google. I can live stream the Google launch of products, and Google does not get pissed. They don't get mad. They don't flag me, right? more promotion, get your name out there. The more eyes on your product, the better. Marketing, right? Apple's the opposite. They have their heads shoved so far up their butt, and they got their noses so high to the sky, so snooty and tooty, that they want to be the only ones that broadcast their launch. And if anybody rebroadcasts it, we're going to copyright strike you. Really? So, now, join me. We will not... Point of me saying that is I can't, essentially rebroadcast their launch, but we can follow along, and there'll be a bunch of live tweeting. Information will start rolling out second by the second. Oh, this is launched. Oh, this has got this feature. Oh, this has got that feature. And we can pick it apart. So it'll be fun. Join me on that day. We'll have a lot of fun that day, trolling Apple and basically telling them how our Android phones are way better. I have all the confidence in the world that this Pixel 9 Pro is a better device. Now, I know. The Apple CPU is better. I know. I'll admit that. But everything else, the Pixel beats it. Right? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for joining me on this episode, number 186 of the eSIM Studios, a YouTube channels podcast. Have a eventful but safe rest of your Saturday afternoon/evening. And catch us here again, same time, same place tomorrow. And I'll try to upload some pictures and my video boost video from this Pixel 9 Pro XL. Give you a little idea of what you can expect. It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Before I get out of here, and this is what we'll do tomorrow, we'll review the DMXO. Is it DMXO scores? DMX? Or is it DXMO? There's an independent third-party company that tests and ranks all of these phones, from their cameras to their displays. Well, is it DXMO? I think it's DXMO. So the DXMO rated the Pixel 9 Pro XL as the second best camera phone. The second best. Better than iPhone, better than nothing, better than OnePlus, better than Samsung. The only phone that was better was I think it was an Oppo phone. But join us tomorrow. We'll review those scores. But it's not, the phone that beat the Pixel is not sold here in the US. So if you want the very best camera phone, I got proof that the Pixel 9 Pro XL is the very best camera phone. Now, when it comes to, sold here in the US. And when they got the very best score, they got the number one spot when it comes to the display. They have the very best display out of any phone in the world. That I was kind of taken back when I saw that. I knew it was good, but I didn't think it was number one, outscoring any and every other phone in the world. So join us tomorrow. We will review. You're going to be surprised where the S24 is on the list. It's a shocker. You're going to be surprised where the S24 landed in that list. I think it's time for a refresh, Samsung. Okay, I'm out of here, guys. Appreciate it. I'll schedule the live stream for tomorrow's show a little earlier. A lot of times I'll just hit live and go live, but I'll let y'all know a few hours earlier when I'm planning on live streaming. So appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for viewing this. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Peace out.